Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity of Tucson. All right, let's just get one thing clear and out of the way first and foremost. It's going to be a little bit of a different way, and I will tell you why it's going to be a little bit of a different way today as soon as we finish the first song. I do want to say good morning, welcome to our spiritual community, and of course, let's offer this, which is our vision here at Unity of Tucson. We envision a place of peace, beauty, and power where spiritual principles are taught and practiced within an ever-growing and dynamic congregation. And so that is what we are here to do. Let's start off with our lead song today. I'll tell you what's happening. Wally, hit it. Yeah, I'll tell you what's happening in just a minute. But I'm going to invite you all to follow this direction. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Here we stand on holy ground. Let us make a joyful sound. Hey, 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 hey. Everybody, get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. All right. So if you are wondering what the heck is happening today, all right, so I'm going to tell you we don't have the band today. And I want you to first of all know that the band is fine. Everybody who's a part of the band is fine. Linda is fine. Joshua is fine. Raphael is fine. I got a message shortly after 9 o'clock this morning from Linda. And first of all, let's just understand and know that what I'm about to tell you may seem shocking, but we are in a place of conscious awareness that can allow us to know the truth of this situation. So where Linda lives, there is one exit from her neighborhood out onto a main thoroughfare. That exit was blocked this morning by the sheriff's department because at 3:45 a.m. There was a fatal car accident out there, and nobody is being allowed to go through that exit or egress or ingress onto the main thoroughfare. So Linda was not able to come to Unity this morning. So as a result, what do? I thought to myself, well, I can give just a 20-minute talk, but then I thought to myself as well, you know, I used to do our Sunday celebrations back when in the early days of Tucson New Thought, when I was still over there. We used to do the Sunday celebrations with a lot of tracked music, and so I went and got a couple of tracks for some of the songs that you may find familiar. We're going to do those songs today. The other thing is I know that we had a guest musician lined up to sing today. Chach Snook, who was supposed to be here, you may have seen that in the Friday email. He is going to be back next Sunday. So let's just know that all is well, that that all is in grace and divine order with that car accident. And it's going to be an odd and a different celebration today, but we can celebrate nonetheless. So I'm grateful that you've decided to be here, to join in this spiritual family, to be part of this spiritual community. If you're watching for the first time, this is not how it's normally done, and that's okay. We're open to being flexible and finding the shift when it needs to happen. Unity of Tucson is a spiritual community and a spiritual family. We are here to teach practical tools for a better life. And in fact, this is a practical tool that can be talked about, is the capacity to be able to go with the flow. That's a great spiritual practice, right? It is my belief that we can precipitate our spiritual evolution, our own spiritual evolution, by engaging in these practical tools. And by doing that, we make our lives better all around. Here's, of course, what I would like to offer, which is the mission of Unity of Tucson. I'm going to read out the mission of Unity of Tucson. Within the principles of Unity, we are a ministry of love, inspiration, learning, wholeness, acceptance, and joy that empowers all people to embrace their divine nature. And the truth is, our inherent core nature, that essence that is each and every one of us, is divine. And in knowing this, I know these truths about you. You are love, you are light, you are life, you are magnificent. I would love for you to, wherever you are, exclaim and acclaim that and accept that for yourself by speaking the words out loud. I am magnificent. Let's say this together. I am magnificent. That is the truth. I'm going to invite you to just reach out to the people who are watching with you online today, your spiritual family. Just type into the chat messages some blessings, some affirmations, some words of magnificence to let everyone know how magnificent they are and how magnificent you are. And I will, of course, acknowledge the people who are here today. Lydia, who's going to help with lighting the candles in a little bit. I see you. I know that you are magnificent. Blessings to you. Our wonderful tech crew, I couldn't do it without you. I certainly couldn't, and I am grateful. Blessings to you, and I know that you are magnificent. Jeffrey is back there. Jeffrey, you are magnificent. Everyone, we are, all of us, magnificent. I'm going to invite Wally to just play a little underscore here as those messages continue. We can allow ourselves to settle in this moment, settle into an understanding, a deepening, a quiet time of reflection. As we find our relaxed state of being right where we are, wherever we are, let yourself relax the physical body. If it's safe and comfortable and you'd like to close your eyes or let them fall to a soft, unfocused gaze, you're welcome to do that. Simply allow the breath, becoming aware of the breath but not controlling it. Just recognizing the flow of each inhale and exhale. With each inhale and with each exhale, there is an infinite circulation of loving energy. Simply become aware of it. In this easeful and graceful experience of awareness, I'm going to read this month's affirmation and invite you to allow yourself to see how it resonates with you. How does it feel as I read these words? The I am essence that I am is awake and aware, and my life is blessed and inspired. The I am essence that I am is awake and aware, and my life is blessed and inspired. Let yourself sit with that for just a few moments. Quietly and gently allow yourself to come back to the awareness of the time and space where you are. And as Lydia makes her way up to assist me with lighting the candles, just allow. Good morning. It's an interesting and different day today. Yeah. Oh, thank you. So we'll light the flames of faith. We engage in this ritual, this ceremony every single week with the understanding that for each candle that we light, we are affirming and acknowledging that all faith traditions, all spiritual ideologies, all religious form is rooted in one thing. That thing is love. That's what today is all about. Finding love, allowing love, and letting love be the point of view from which we unfold in every moment. So we honor these paths and acknowledge these paths by first lighting, as you have done, a candle for the Tao, which honors the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the divine will of love as the highest calling. We light a candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light a candle for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. We light a candle for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space that we are holding for them, and for all faith traditions unnamed in this ceremony. And this final candle we light is a candle which represents the healing of any circumstance that requires the revelation of divinity, the revelation of God. For that is the true nature of healing as we teach it, the revelation of the divine essence, the core of all creation and all experience. at the core of it all is God. Yes. So that is what this candle represents. This candle is to help you illumine whatever is in your mind and in your heart that requires the light. Thank you. The candle here to your left is our peace candle, which we keep consistently illuminated, as I say every week, with the understanding that it represents the consistent illumination of peace in our hearts. And as we are rooted in that sense, that place of peace, it flows forth from within each and every one of us to create a peaceful experience in this world. So let's honor this candle by reading the prayer for world peace. Divine love indwells each person and radiates from one to another. Harmony is established and peace begins to reign in the world. So we can fade that out now, Wally. Thank you. It's not often that I bring a music stand out, but I didn't have, because of everything that unfolded this morning. We've changed what the featured song is today. It's a song that I have a track to and was able to grab and get prepared for today, but I didn't have enough time to really review the lyrics in the about 30 minutes that I had to prepare for this. You'll recognize this song. It's a song I've sung before. And it's a good one. So here we go. If this life is one act, why do we lay all these traps? We put them right in our path when we just wanna be free. I will not waste my days making up all kinds of ways to worry about all the things that will not happen to me. And so I just let go of what I know I don't know, and I know I only do this by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy with peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, I got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment. I'm letting myself off the hook for things that I've done, and I'm letting go of thoughts that do not make me strong. I let my past go past, and now I'm having more fun. And I believe this way can be the same for everyone. And if I fall asleep, I know you'll be the one who'll always remind me to live in the moment, to keep living my life easy and breezy with peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, I got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I can't walk through life facing backwards. I've tried more than once to just make sure, but I was denied the future I've been searching for. But I spun around and hurt no more by living in the moment, living my life easy and breezy with peace in my mind. I got peace in my heart, I got peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home. I'm living in the moment, I'm living my life easy and breezy with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart. already home. I'm living in the moment, living my life, easy and breezy, with peace in my mind, with peace in my heart, with peace in my soul. Wherever I'm going, I'm already home, just living in the moment. Well, today is clearly all about living in the moment and allowing ourselves to be with what is. And, you know, it's a great lesson in letting go. Who was it? I think it was Joseph Campbell who said, we must let go of the life we have planned in order to live the life that is waiting for us. And today I get to live the life that apparently has been waiting for me. So the funny thing is I have all of these talk notes prepared, and the notes reflect on the song that was going to be the song today, which is a song called You Walk With Me, which is also then Walk With Me is the message that I was prepared to give today. And I am going to give that message probably peppered in with some other stuff that clearly is going to come up through me as always happens. I mean, I never stick just to my prepared notes ever. But what will happen is I'm going to probably reference lyrics that you will have to keep in mind when you watch the service next week when Chach is back here and he actually sings the song that was prepared for today. How do we live in the moment? How do we live in the moment? I think that this month, not just this month, this year, since mid-March, we've all been given the opportunity to more and more find our moment-by-moment life. And in that change, in that feeling that everything is different, and everything is different, we are given an opportunity to maybe grow spiritually. That's what I have decided to do during this time where, you know, I feel isolated from a spiritual community. It's been strange because I have taken over as the senior minister of a spiritual family, a spiritual community, most of whom I have not been able to interact with in person. Although I just want to also let people know, and people have taken me up on this, I am available. If you want to call the office, there's an option for you to get right to me. And so I welcome the opportunity to speak to you about whatever is happening for you. Because I know that sometimes we can feel alone, right? And I think that these many months have been, perhaps for many of us, rooted in a feeling of feeling alone. Like we felt alone, right? Sure can feel like we're alone sometimes. You know, I reflect on coming to this campus every day throughout the week, and you know, it's got a magnificent energy, and I know that when the time comes when we can really bring people back into the room, that energy is going to exponentially expand and expand and expand. But I want you to know that the energy exists here. There is never a need to be rooted in feelings of isolation, separateness, or loneliness. And I've come to this realization because when I have felt that way in my own life, when I have felt separate, when I have felt alone, what I recall in those moments, and I want to be very clear, I have trained my mind to move into this place, and that is the power of these practical tools we teach. It is actually to retrain the mind into the mode of positive thinking with this understanding that whenever we may feel separate, we are absolutely not separate. Whenever we may feel isolated, we cannot be isolated because we are part of the infinite. Whenever we feel alone, we are never alone. We are never alone. We're always on that perfect walk. And I'm going to say with God, which will probably confuse some people because I've just now said that God is something outside the self, which is not what I teach. But God, being all things, can be something we walk with and walk as at the same time. Because in the same way that I am with Lydia in the room, we are a unified wholeness expressing individually. And so I am a unified wholeness, I express individually, and I can walk with God as God within that. But then I have to ask myself the question, and I ask you this question. It's really the fundamental question of all faith traditions, when you boil it right down to it. What is God? What is God? You know, we think we know. We teach a particular ideology around God within this construct, within New Thought. We have ideas about what God is. Within any faith tradition, there are ideas about what God is, but they are just that. They are just ideas. They're just ideas. What if we got rid of the ideas? What if we got rid of the ideas? What if, and here's actually the way that we can construct it. Every faith tradition, every spiritual path, every religion puts God in a box. What if we took God out of the box, got rid of the edges of the box? What are we left with? What are we left with? What if we took the ideas that limit our concept of God away? What are we left with? Is it the wind over my shoulder that I hear gently whispering? See, now I read that on my talk notes, and it is a lyric from the song that was going to be sung today. So just keep that in mind for next week. Is it the wind over my shoulder that I hear gently whispering? I want us all to take just a moment. Just relax right where we are, wherever we are. And I'm going to invite us all to simply let go of the ideas, the preconceived notions, or the constructed ideas that we have about what God is, and simply listen for God. Just allow the opportunity for a moment to listen for God. What do you hear? I'm going to reflect for just a moment. I invite you to simply just be aware of whatever it is that you've heard. But I want to reflect for just a moment that the things that I heard. I heard some rustling of people moving in chairs. I hear the solari bells that line the building outside as they make their noise from the wind. I hear you can't see it from here, but I hear the fans of the amplifiers. I hear a tone that I can't quite figure out where that tone is coming from, but I hear it. All of these things, all of it, it's all God. For it is all energy. It's all energy. I think that's the power of meditation. That's why meditation is a daily practice for me, because it allows me to move into that space of listening for God, to God, as God. When I listen, I actually tap into that ineffable energy and what is seemingly unknowable. Here's what I would like us to do, though. Because it may seem in that sense that God is, right? It is this ineffable something. I've said take away all the ideas that constrict it, but let us disabuse ourselves of any lingering notion that God is some distant thing out there that is unattainable. I hear God flying by in a helicopter. I'm sure you can't hear it online, but these are the things that I hear. And when I become aware, when I heighten my awareness of hearing, I start hearing so much more than I ever realize is there sometimes. But God is not some distant thing out there that is unattainable. That is the whole point of the New Thought philosophy. Every aspect of New Thought is really, actually, here's what I want to say. The history of New Thought was written in a book called Spirits in Rebellion. The whole point of New Thought is a rebellion against old thought, against the clinging and holding on to of old ideas. You know, we hold on to those ideas because ultimately it makes us feel comfortable, right? We find comfort. We wrap ourselves in that space of comfort. This is the third Sunday of our adventure, right? It's Advent, but I'm calling it our adventure this month. The Sunday where the theme is love. Love is God. We know that that's a sin. Many people have said that. Love is a synonym for God. Maybe we can find love in this way. Oh, and this is something that I feel so blessed to have heard from someone somewhere in my life. But maybe what we can do is find love in this way. Let us stop intellectualizing the spirit and start spiritualizing the intellect. Let us stop trying to figure out what God is or who God is or the way God shows up, and let us spiritualize, let us acknowledge and live from the space of truth that God is all there is, and that everything that flows forth in our intellectual capacity is God. What does that mean? What does it mean? For me, it means to let go of thinking I need to understand God in thoughts. I will never understand God in thoughts. It's impossible to understand God in a limited thinking way. What if God really is just the infinite energy of love? Do we really need to think about that so much? We spend, basically, I have committed my life to being a spiritual philosopher. And I think about things a lot. That's what philosophers do. We think, right? We think all the time. We are constantly thinking all the time. But maybe I need to stop thinking about it so much and start allowing myself to live in the feeling space that is God. Maybe I need to stop for a minute and do what the song I did sing today says and live in the moment and allow. Stop worrying about the past. I let my past go past. Stop worrying about what's going to happen in the future and truly be in the here and now, rooted in that infinite energy of love, that infinite energy of God, because that's all it is. That's all it is. There was some... I want to acknowledge Jerry Stratemeyer, who posted an article actually that I read a couple days ago. She posted it on Facebook yesterday or today, and it came across my feed this morning. And it's basically physicists are now saying we need to rethink even the construct of the quantum understanding and what Einstein said about what the universe is made of. And they're saying it is, for a long time we've been living in this assumption that it is both the particle and the wave. And we construct our idea of how to be within that by thinking about the particle and the wave. And this is aligned with New Thought because we talk about this thing called, infinite flow. That is the wave, and it particularizes itself into expression by means of all creation. All of this is the particular of that infinite wave. But in this article, what they are saying now is we maybe need to rethink the construct and understand it as what they have coined fragments of energy. And that's actually what I've been going to a lot just in my own contemplation of what this thing called love is, what this thing called God is understanding that it is fragments of energy, and energy having its way with energy, showing up as each and every one of us, and at the core, each and every one of us, when you break it down to the subatomic, and what is smaller than the subatomic, but just energy. That's it. That's all it is. Love is energy. Love is a cosmic force of creation. It is a creative wave of potential. It is the creative particulate of potential, and it is the fragment of energy that is potential. It exists in all circumstances, right here, right now, and in every moment, and is everything yet to be as well. We are never alone, ever. We are never alone, for love is always present. No matter what. Are we open to allowing that and understanding that and living in the moment, moment by moment with that? Love is always present. It is not simply an idea relegated to the finite. Love is a feeling. Love is a feeling, an energetic feeling. And I believe love, God, whatever we call it, can only be understood through feeling. Let us take the intellect out of it. That's what I think it means by spiritualizing the intellect, that we are rooting ourselves into that space of feeling. The feeling is an exponential factor in the flow and quality of our life. And so let us tap into that exponential factor of love, of God, by living unconditional love, which is compassion, and through that we make our lives better. If there's any place where we are engaged in any kind of divisive rhetoric, let us remove that from our space right here and right now and understand that it is our work to live in cooperation and in common unity with the understanding that it is all constructive. I would like us each to look at something right now in our lives. Just take a moment. It doesn't have to be a big moment. Just take a moment to bring something to mind in your life where you felt unconditional love. It may be in a significant relationship with another human being. It may be in a significant relationship with an animal, a pet. It may be in a significant relationship with a community. Where have you felt unconditional love? Just allow yourself to bring that to mind. And as you bring that to mind, that remembrance of unconditional love, whatever it is, check in to see what happens to your beingness. What does it feel like? What is the feeling? I would venture a guess that what has happened, perhaps for each and every one of us, is that we find ourselves rooted in a heart space and not an intellectual idea of love. That's spiritualizing the intellect. It is well past time that we move beyond limited notions of the intellect and move more into the heart. That's part of this adventure of life, not just in these 4 weeks of Advent, but in the life adventure that we are living. As we move beyond those limitations, moving more into the heart, I want to talk about the physical heart right now, that actual physical reflection of the love at our core. It is intrinsically tied to feelings. We talk about heart in relationship to feeling all the time. And the heart is of itself its own thinking center. A lot of people may not realize this, but there are approximately 40,000 neurons in the cardiac nervous system. I'm going to put it in quotes, right? Because we don't think of the cardiac system as the nervous system, but the cardiac nervous system, there are approximately 40,000 neurons in the heart, in the cardiac system. The heart actually sends more signals to the brain than the brain does to the heart. Yet we often give more credence to the idea that the brain has superiority. The truth is, to engage a magnificent quality of life, the heart and the brain must find cohesion in working together. When I started today's message, early on, I asked you, what you hear when you listen for God. Maybe it's time we accepted that what we hear, perhaps, is the beating of our own hearts. Do you know, if you take a moment, just be quiet. It's very possible you can hear the beating of your own heart if you listen. That, to me, is God in action. And we activate God every time we feel. We, of course, teach that God is not out there. God is not something in a traditional sense, as many have come to believe as they have been brought up within other ideologies. God is not something. It is something beyond the intellect. It is unconditional. And most importantly, God is accessible to all. There is no separation. It is accessed in our expression of unconditional love. And so I choose today to be unconditionally loving. In unconditional love, there is never a but. It's kind of a funny way of phrasing it, but there is never a but in unconditional love. At first, it may seem difficult because we may be met with many exceptions to the idea of unconditional love. If we decide we are going to be unconditionally loving, we may be met with things that will challenge that notion of unconditional love. Our work is to move through those challenges and step through them with unconditional love in our hearts. To not react to them, which sets forth a whole causation experience, but to be with what is and allow that unconditional love to be at the core. Because at the core, love is who we are. I invite you to walk with me in this notion. Walk with me here and now. Know that we are never alone. Not a single one of us is alone because we are always engaged in a personal relationship to, from, with, and as God. Emily Cady distilled it very succinctly in this: all love is God in manifestation. So, God in manifestation is who we are. Therefore, we are love. What is God? The answer is this: we are. Everything is. There is nothing that is not God. When the implications of this are understood, it is a profound acceptance that we may find ourselves within, because knowing that there is nothing that is not God is the great equalizer. We cannot be in conflict when we understand that all of it is God. And if we engage in the activity of conflict in any way, it is our work to step back and say, no, I choose something else. In understanding that God is the great equalizer, the I am that I am is the great equalizer, there is freedom, there is power in freely giving and receiving love without condition or expectation. And that is the greatest expression we have as God. That is the adventure. And I ask you today, will you walk with me on this journey? Namaste. And so, there is a little homework, as there always is. Simple, profound. You get to decide how you engage it. Sometimes I give you very specific things, but you get to determine how you interpret this week, the homework. Each day this week, I would like you to reach out and offer a gift to someone. Doesn't have to be a gift. It can be a gift. But find yourself in the activity of giving, because that is the nature of love, the self-givingness of the Spirit, which is who and what we are for the purposes of creation. When we allow ourselves to live in the unexpected activity of giving from the heart, what we find is that we are also in that unexpected activity of receiving, and we keep everything in circulation. That's what it's all about. And so let yourself reflect on that this week. Yeah. Normally in this moment, we would do another song. I have not prepared another song for this moment, so we're going to step right into our activity of giving through the offering. I'm going to invite you to acknowledge the gratitude that I trust you feel around the space that is Unity of Tucson, the physical space and the virtual space, the space in your mind and in your heart that is reflected as Unity of Tucson, because you are this community. You are what makes up this experience. It's not about me. It's not about anybody. It's not about any one person. It is about the whole of us coming together and deciding what we stand for in love and light. So as you engage that space of gratitude within your heart today, giving of the self, just acknowledge the good that you choose to acknowledge. And let's read together the divine givingness statement. I trust you can find that. Yeah, I got thumbs up. So let's read this together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center, knowing that it goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless, and returns to me multiplied abundantly. I thankfully acknowledge God as my source. I want to note one thing. I purposefully have allowed this sentence. I'm going to reread this sentence. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center. I joyously contribute to my spiritual center. That has multiple meanings. Contributing to the physical space that is your spiritual center, your church, but also giving to your spiritual center, that heart space. I think that's an important understanding that perhaps you can adopt every time you read that. There are many ways of giving. You can give by clicking the link for donating on our website, unitytucson.com. You can call the office during our regular office hours, 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m., Monday through Thursday, and utilize a debit or credit card over the telephone. You can also send in a check. All of that information is I think it's on the screen. If it's not, it's one of those days. And I know that right now it'll be in the description field later, but because of everything that happened today, I didn't update the description of the video either. One of those days. I'm just going with the flow, living in the moment. I do want to let you know that there will be a virtual gathering today at 11:30 a.m. So join me on Zoom. The link for that is on the homepage at unitytucson.com. Check that out. Nominations are open for board positions. There is information about that as well that's going out in our emails on a regular basis. It's also in Expanding Horizons if you have Expanding Horizons come to you in your mail. The Christmas Eve candlelight service will be happening on Christmas Eve at 6 p.m. I am still accepting if you would like to upload a short video or still image of you holding a candle so you can be a participant as the community of this church in the candlelight service. I would love to have you do that. The sock box is available as well if you'd like to drop off socks or underwear or hats or things like that we can give away to people who are in need. You can drop those off at the office during our regular office hours. What else? New Year's Eve Labyrinth and Dissolving Bowl. That information is also on our website. You can sign up for a time to come walk the Labyrinth on New Year's Eve, December 31st, sometime between 11:30 a.m. and 5:30 p.m. All of that's on the website. Also, if you have received the pledge form, we are really encouraging people to help us out with the planning for 2021 and our budgeting for 2021 by giving an acknowledgement of what you think you might be giving in terms of financial support next year. The pledge form should have been received in the mail. You can also find the information and an electronic version of the form on the website at unitytucson.com. So please do check all of that out. I want to say thank you, oh my gosh, to everybody who made this very unusual service happen today. Lydia, thank you so much for being here, lighting the candles, holding the space, and being in conscious awareness. Of course, thank you to the tech crew. Like I said earlier, can't do it without you, and I am deeply grateful for you. Jeffrey, thank you for being here, as always. I do want to acknowledge and say thank you to the band, even though they are not physically in the room here today, but the work that they do every single week is unparalleled, and I am so grateful to be in this with them. As we complete our time here today, I want to say thank you to you for being here, being present, letting your love shine through. Let's read together the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds me. I am that light. The love of God enfolds me. I am that love. The power of God protects me. I am that power. The presence of God watches over me. I am that presence. Wherever I am, God is. Wherever God is, I am. And so it is. Amen. Hit it. I'm going to try it. I don't have the lyrics. I'm going to try and remember this. But we all know this song, right? You'll recognize it. Think of your fellow man, lend him a helping hand, put a little love in your heart. You see it's getting late, oh please don't hesitate, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. Just wait and see. Another day goes by, and still the children cry, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and me. You just wait and see, wait and see. Take a good look around, and if you're looking down, put a little love in your heart. I hope when you decide, kindness will be your guide, put a little love in your heart. And the world will be a better place, and the world will be a better place for you and for me. You just wait and see. Put a little love in your heart. 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 Make it a magnificent week, everyone. Namaste.